Here is the menu environment where the player enter at first. They can look around and there are 3 buttons in front of them. They can also see their whole body, which move based on their movements. After some seconds, they will see a guide box and hear a voiceover asking them to bring their hands up. Then the controller vibrates. When they bring their hands up, they will see some color particles in front of them, and a voiceover asks them to collect those particles and put it on the start button to enter. And this is the first scene where the player starts its journey. It's a foggy woodland surrounded with high rocks. They can also see some color particles floating from behind of them, and then they will hear a bird sound from behind. When they turn around, on behind of them there is an oak tree, which a bird is sitting on a branch of it. Then the bird flies and stops in front of them. At the same time, the controller vibrates and the player have to reach out for the bird. So the bird will sit on their hand. When it sits on their hand, they will hear a voiceover and they can see some color particles sticks to their hand. Afterward, the bird flies and sits on the antlers of a deer that is standing on the right side, which have just came out of the... Then the player can move toward the deer, and when it gets closer, the bird will fly over and hide behind those trees. They will also see some other colorful stuff just behind the trees and the fog, but they cannot reach them out. They cannot go toward them because it's limited. And then they need to go toward the deer and touch the deer as it's glowing, and then they will see that some color smears are sticking to their hand and adding to the previous colors. Then suddenly they will hear a gunshot sound, and a black color starts from where they were touching and spreading toward the whole body of the deer. And after that, the deer will fall and get blacks completely, and a black color starts spread all over the scene from that body, and everything gets black. And in the blackness, first they will hear a door cracking sound, and just after it they will see some rings start appearing from far, and it get closer to them, to just steps away from them. And at the center of those rings they will see a handprint that is shining, and they also feel a vibration in their hand, so they can put their hand on the handprint, and when they do that, the rings starts going up, ascending from the outside to the inside, and when they just look up, suddenly they will see a carcass fall from above and stop just above their head. That carcass is hanging from a rope and a hook, and there is another rope and hook that is empty just beside that carcass. And then they will hear a voiceover, and after that they can turn around, they can look at that carcass, and then they will have a controller vibration in their hand, and they will see some color particles start appearing around the second hook, that they need to hold it and push it down. Just after that, hundreds of carcasses will fall from above, and they will be surrounded by these carcasses, Then they will see a camera rotation. It's like a rotating in Z direction that leads to a dizziness. And then there will be a music and a sound effect, and also a bird sound. And they will see some color particles start floating among these carcasses. They can go and grab these particles, and at the same time they will see some blood drops dripping from carcasses on the floor and will cover the floor, and it will start a blood of flood. The player can move through all these carcasses, but everywhere they go, they will be only carcasses. They won't see anything else. And every time there will be instantiated and new carcasses around him. They can also grab the particles in the air, and at the same time the flood of blood is coming up. That blood will rise over and over, and the camera rotation will get worse, something like this, and that blood will rise to the level of their eyes and their nose, and just after that they will hear a bird sound from above their head. When they look up, they will see some colored particles, but they cannot grab them. And just after that, the blood gets black, and it spreads all over the scene, and everything gets black. This is the third scene. They can see they are standing on the shore of a lake. They can see their hand. There is color particles on it, and they will hear a sound of bird again from behind. And they see the bird that they had seen in the first scene. When they get near to it, it will fly over, and at the same time some colored particles being spread and being floated on the surface of the water. There are some fishes in the water that they will come up and eat those particles, those color particles, and then they get colored. They will jump out of the water like they are happy, and after that the bird will fly over and disappear from the view. After that they will hear a voiceover. Wherever the player stand, those fishes will goes toward them. Like if they stand this side, the fishes will stand in front of them. Then there will be a controller vibration, so the player understand that they should do something with their hand. The player should put their hand into water, and when they do this, the colors will float over the that paddle, and the fishes will eat those particles and start jumping out. They will colorful, and suddenly after that all the fishes become black. They will die, they will jump out of the water, and they will die in front of the player. And then there will be a voiceover. After that they will start disintegrating and becoming particle and floating into air. After that everything become black. The water start becoming black, and the whole environment become black, and they will hear the last voiceover that is a full sentence, and at the last they will see that their own body, their hands and their whole body start becoming particles.